up, guys? This is Jake Garland. I play in a band called Memphis Mayfire. So I've been drumming for about 13 years now. Started right when I joined middle school when I was 11. Brought up in like the whole jazz band, orchestral scene, and then did that throughout high school. Marched on the snare line, and then I went to UCF and studied music for about a year and a half under Jeff Moore. So my whole background has been really rudimental. You know, even a lot of stuff that I do live, do tons of like paradiddle fills and paradiddle diddles around the toms and snare and all that. So it's kind of helped create my own style, especially when writing and messing around with like different stuff all over the kit. So it was a really important time in my life that was a big help in my drumming career for sure. The first thing I noticed about the heads, which was really cool, is the sturdiness of them. And the heads I was playing before, in comparison, the older heads you could kind of bend and move around, which, you know, I don't know if that's good or bad at the time, but seeing that comparison was a cool thing to see how sturdy the heads were. You know, I could try and bend the head, and with the Remo head, it's not going anywhere. With the other heads, they're kind of bendable, which just kind of makes me think about how that's acting when it's actually on my kit. You know, it's going to deaden way, way quicker. And another really cool thing I really enjoyed about Remo was the different heads that were available. Like, for example, you know, when I thought about playing Remo heads, the Emperor X is like the standout snare head that everybody likes to use, and it sounds awesome. But for my kind of sound, I was hoping to try something different, and I was like, oh, well, you know, there's the coated Emperors that everybody likes in the studio, and then everybody kills for the Emperor X live. And then I tried a head called the Power Stroke X, which is a single ply 14 mil head with a ring around the edge of it, which kind of takes away a little bit of the overtones. And that's like my favorite head I've ever used right now, and I use that. From the drummer's perspective, it's nice to use really open tom sounds, like a clear Emperor, but sound guys, especially ours, you know, wants the toms to be a little bit more dead, just so they're not ringing all over the place when you're in a big giant room. So the Power Stroke 4 is like the perfect substitute for that, which I've been using this whole tour. Don't need a moon gel, don't need tape. It deadens it just enough to where it still has a really open tone, but the decay is a little bit shorter, so it's nice. So the Power Sonic head that I play on my bass drums is a 2-ply head, has 2 little strips of memory foam, and also has a little dampening clip that is actually already on the head, which is pretty cool. You know, I got it out of the box, and I was like, how's this going to work? And easier than I expected. You just clip it on, it's awesome. The one really cool thing about that is a lot of other dampening heads, like one I used to use prior back in the day, it has the little foam ring around it. A lot of the heads from other companies just like have the foam ring on it, like in a little insert, which 2 seconds into me playing, which I'm a really, really heavy hitter on the bass drums, they fall out. So I have to like tape the ring to the head. So that was the one thing that I really liked also about the Power Sonic, is the foam strips are just glued or fastened on, and I haven't had any issue with them moving around, and it's awesome. The thing that's cool about the clip too is, you know, if you play in a giant boomy room or something and you don't want it to be as focused, you can just clip it, take the clip off, and bam, you're good. Or clip it back on. It's super, super easy to use, which is awesome.